here that I haven't done before, and we're going to kind of go over what the weekly lecture looked like. And I'm debating whether I'm going to do this as an upfront, so you've got a lecture to work with, or as a tail end, so you can go back and reflect on what we've got. So we're going to try it both ways and see which way you like it better, and then we'll go from there. So this is the database class for ITS 410, and this is basically your interactive lecture. I kind of wanted to go through some of this with you so you can kind of see that databases are actually really kind of cool. They're really kind of a neat thing that we do. It's a great way of storing data. It's a great way of making sense of large chunks of data. And it's really a backbone of how the internet operates now. Everything is a database in a lot of ways. And that's the cool part about this whole process, is that as everything becomes more and more compartmentalized, whether it's on the cloud, whether it's in a container, whether it's a database that's in a data center that's local to your area, we're all tracking data every day. You log in, you're authenticating against a database, whether that's LDAP or Active Directory or some other variation of that theme. It's just basically a great big huge database. You can use a Mongo database, one that is a NoSQL database, for storing really cool information. One of the ways that I've seen a NoSQL database stored is that when you're shopping and you're on a website and you're shopping, you put things in a cart. Well, all that stuff is stored off in a Mongo database, and it gives you a customer ID for that shopping cart. And then let's say you leave and you don't buy anything from that shopping cart, it will write a cookie to your computer with that customer ID, and then you go and you come back a month later and it will bring up that old shopping cart. It's a great way of using NoSQL databases. Your payroll is a relational database. That's a great way of storing the relationship between you and your benefits and all of the things that you've got cooking right now. There's basically, some databases that we use. Oracle. Oracle has been around since I started with the internet. It's as old as I am, which is scary. Microsoft SQL Server, same thing, old as I am. Microsoft and then Microsoft SQL Server. That really is a typo. It should be MySQL, or shouldn't even be here. Mongo, based on open source and is designed for applications unstructured. I love unstructured data. We use a lot of that when we're doing data warehousing, when we're doing big, deep analytics. And Mongo, tying a non-SQL with an SQL relational server is a great thing. And of course, MySQL, the one that we're working with, right? And that's the big one, is that MySQL, what you learn here with MySQL will actually work. Right? And you get some distinct benefits from this. You get some good flexibility, some good reduced redundancy. There's ways of making it even more flexible by using things like read replicas. You can use it for your disaster recovery, easy to back up and recovery, right? Disaster recovery, business continuity, and then locking. You can actually do things to those records to make sure that time and date and locking consistency and concurrency of data isn't altered. And you're definitely going to want to be able to do all those things. So, we've already done our thing. We've already loaded up our My Guitar Shop database, and we have a walkthrough of that and how to do all that. And then you can go into MySQL Workbench, and this is a pretty early version of it that you're looking at here. So they haven't modernized that graphic at all. But again, you've got some GUI tools. You've got some graphical user interface that helps you out. And again, when we did the walkthrough in the other video, make sure you do check that one out as you go. You do have some design aspects, and especially with that overhead maps and everything else you can take a look at, actually work out really, really well. You have some help here at LinkedIn Learning on how to install MySQL on Windows and MySQL on Mac. I'm using a Macintosh computer, so that makes it a whole lot easier for me, just because I've been using Macintosh for forever, even though I did have used Windows a lot. I've kind of stopped on Mac. I can help you with your Windows stuff though. But again, I posted some links in the classroom so you can use the current version, but you've got the MySQL installer. Make sure when you're doing this that you right click, run as administrator, right? So when you're installing this and you download it and you're getting ready to double click on that icon to install the software, make sure you right click install as admin, right? And you can use their password or you can use your password. It's up to you, right? It's going to be just on your computer, so I wouldn't worry about it. But once you've got that and it's all loaded up and good to go, you should just go with it, because now you've got some MySQL Workbench and create databases and load data. So You can either download these or you can work directly from the critical thinking assignment. I'm pretty easy. Um, you get this book as part of your free book under the course ebook, and that should have all the other things that go along with it. So if you don't find those, let me know. We'll go ahead and we'll do it. But definitely check your course ebook, and you should find all of the other things. You'll see these links peppered throughout the course that will take you to the pay for version, which you don't want. So definitely use the free course ebook, right? And then go ahead and browse, do your things like we did on the walkthrough, examine and execute your script, and then create. And again, we did all that with all the rest of it. And then check your understanding. You can take the test, and that's it. That is the whole lecture on this one. And again, really, really straightforward week. Not anything that's overly taxing in a lot of ways in terms of what we're doing, but just getting that MySQL database and workbench up and running. There's a different video on that. We've run through the critical thinking assignment for the week, and definitely do feel free to reach out if you've got any questions on this. But again, it's all really straightforward, pretty easy going. All right, thank you. See you in the next lecture.